moments will be lost in time. Like tears in
Forget that.
Why?
I'm 10. I don't know.
Counting to 10 is the classic.
Because but I'm the problem is is because it's not 9. Like
you start and you end.
I start and I end. It's not like a perfect 3.
Yeah.
No.
I think that screws me up. It's like, well, when I said my third 3, I'm done.
I said my third 3. I said my third 3. I'm out of here.
Insha, if you could give a lecture on one thing, what would it be?
What?
If you could electron one thing.
If you could give a lecture.
Oh. Yeah, I thought he said electron too. I'm like, what the fuck is a Pokemon?
Yeah, I thought he said electron.
Oh, that's hard.
If you could change matter and space and give one electron to any other atom, what would you do?
There are 2 things.
Okay, you only get one lecture.
Shush, let me be.
You can't get
you only get
the history of exploitation movies.
Okay, that's cool. The history of them.
Yeah. Like, I want to break down every single exploitation movie and make it into, like, a lectured class and be like, we're going to explore all the exploitation movies now. You ever thought about nunsploitation? No? Now you will. Sorry.
I like that you twisted it so that you even said class, because you're like, yeah, you know that lecture I'm giving? It turns out it's actually a class.
It's an 8-part
You have
class.
to be there for a long ass time. What was the other one? What was the second one?
The history of David Cronenberg films, like the timeline of David Cronenberg films. I just want people.
Well, now that's just this show.
Yeah. Also, yes. I feel like I'd rather go to your exploitation one, because why would I get lectured by a person who watched A History of Violence like 2 weeks ago for the first time?
And didn't like it, so that's weird.
Exactly. why would I ever do that? Tim, what would you do?
I came up with the question. I didn't even think about this.
The study of Dan in real life and why fathers deserve more than they should.
Perfect. Good. And Michael?
Counting to 9 properly, I think, is what I'm giving a lecture about.
I love how I'm the only
because we can nail that.
Serious answer.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. Welcome to Film Runners, a podcast where one of us chooses a film at least one of the other ones hasn't seen before we watch it. We talk about it. I am Michael, and this is Insha.
Oh, hi. Oh, sorry, you cut off before you said anything.
Oh, sorry. And Timothy.
Hello. And this episode of Film Runners is sponsored by Ashley King Art. Ashley King is an artist and designer from Toronto, Canada. She has an extensive history in the arts, including a background in music, theater, visual arts, and design. Check out our website at ashleyking.art and I guess buy stuff. Or like her things.
Right.
Or buy it.
Yep.
Like her on Facebook and Instagram and
okay.
LinkedIn, because she has those things.
Yep. You done?
Ash King Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Classic stuff.
Just like this classic.
Speaking of classic, yeah. Classic Insha pick.
Insha pick this week.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I chose VFW, directed by Joe Begos.
From 2018?
2019.
2019.
And Michael, I know, have seen it before, but Tim had never seen it before, right?
I had not.
All right. So, gonna go first impressions with Michael.
I'm mixed on it. I enjoy it for what it is, but I have issues with some of it aesthetically and also thematically. I think it kind of puts me at a distance. But there's a lot of stuff to like in there, especially like the lead performance. I think is very good. So I'm kind of mixed on it.
Tim.
I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about, because I love this movie. I thought it was.
Did you really?
I thought it was so good. It gave me very big, like Shaun of the Dead vibes of them fighting basically zombies in a bar. And yeah, I thought the level of gore was cool and the violence was awesome. And yeah, I just thought it was an overall great movie. I liked, most of the main characters in this, and it was great.
Yeah, the gore and the violence is fantastic, and it does have. It's very much. It's more Assault on Precinct 13, kind of, than Shaun of the Dead, but it's all the same concept. Like,
Right.
You know,
and a little bit of Home Alone.
They literally treat these fucking. They don't specify what the drug is, but they're basically like meth heads, but they treat them like zombies.
Oh, yeah.
For the entire thing, which is very funny.
It's a zombie movie. I wrote down here. It's like a Mad Max zombie movie.
Yeah, well, because of the aesthetically, all the.
But not only that, like
heads
it sounds like the
bikers
government
and shit.
And the government is, causing them to like.
I don't really get the
uprise.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get the world that this takes place in.
I think that's on purpose.
Yeah,
because it's very much like the VFW is such a staple of everywhere, I think, and then like the drug den is just a completely utterly different type of universe. Even when there's a line that Gutter says that was just like, the sun's coming up, and then like I was just like, are you vampires? What's happening?
We gotta go. It is, even like watching it this time, because I have just a strong memory of the film as a total. It took me by surprise this time that we even see Fred, like Stephen Lang's character, driving to work. I was like, I totally forgot we ever see any other building other than the VFW and the fucking drug den. Like, it was crazy that we, and daylight, like we saw daylight while he's driving to work, which blew my mind.
Michael, maybe you know, but the VFW, I assume, maybe Insha can know too, is that similar to like our Legion up here, right? Like, yes. I assume so?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, is it a big thing down there, Insha? Like the VFW? Like, is that like a big institution?
Yes and no. When I was growing up, it was used for two things. One, veterans. Two, teenagers going to house shows. So I did it, yes, and also no, but more so now, no. Because I really haven't seen an open VFW around here in forever. So
right, yeah. We have the Royal Canadian Legion, and it's usually made for like you said, veterans who go to drink, and like when you need to rent out a hall.
Yeah.
I remember one time a couple of years ago when my mom was running for town council or whatever. My sister and I went to the debate, and then afterwards my sister was like, "Hey, let's get a beer." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Well, like right downstairs is the Legion." So we went down, and there were a bunch of like old timers there, and they were like the nicest, most inviting people. They invited us back to play darts the next week. We didn't go, but they were like, "Come on, hey, how you doing?" And they were just so happy to see other people there.
I think that's the place.
So I was like, "Are we even allowed to drink at a Legion?" And they were like, "Ah, come on." It's good.
Very much so. It's like also the cheapest place to get alcohol, I think.
Oh yeah. I think it was like $3 a beer or something there.
Yeah.
Oh, ours was too.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
So I don't.
I knew what a VFW was, but also this movie very kindly has one of the characters literally say what VFW stands for during a scene.
VFW. What the fuck is that?
Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Soldiers? Good. Soldiers are good at dying.
So yeah, should we give a synopsis of this movie, Insha?
Yes. Okay, so... Oh, God. Okay. So there's a new powerful drug on the street called Hype, and...
Hype.
Hype,
Right.
yeah. That, everybody...
Remember when Fred Williamson just does a target? Sorry.
That and the drug Hype, everybody's like literally dying over or dying for or becoming zombies from, and then Lizard sees her sister dead from jumping to get the
Lizard's sister kills herself to get the
Get
drugs.
the Hype, yeah.
Not in any other sense other than, oh, the drugs fell down there. I will also fall down there.
I will go get those right now.
Yeah, it wasn't even like I'll risk it, I'll take the chance. It was, oh, I will die as well. It's these drugs. Like, walk downstairs, bitch. I don't know why you're doing that.
And then after Lizard sees her sister dead, she goes and steals the drug dealer's stash. His name is Boss, I think. And then he notices, has his zombie horde go and follow her to the VFW owned by Fred, and sadly, it's Fred's birthday, and he and his veteran friends have to deal with a horde of drugged up zombies while also defending their home turf from the horde of drugged up zombies. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, they're trying to get to it, and they're trying to get to a titty bar.
To see the daughter of a USO show performer they saw in the 60s.
Great synopsis. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the story. That's the entire story. It is, it has a fantastic cast.
It does,
Like,
yeah.
It really does have some amazing old actors in it.
Yeah, I got really excited when I saw Norm show up.
Norm?
One of my notes is just Norm at a bar. Like, perfect.
George went, yeah, literally just there because it's like, oh, this is a movie about old people at a bar. So we'll put George White in there.
Yeah. What has he been in in the last 10, 20 years?
VFW.
I was going to say, I think literally just things like this where he plays Norm and stuff. I think easily the best part of the film, in my opinion, is Stephen Lang. The fact that they got him as the lead and he takes it kind of seriously and is just generally a good actor, I think really helps the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's just really good.
Yeah, he's a good... It's weird because, like, he's also, like, he's a good friend to all of them for keeping an open tab for all of them without actually paying, which I'm like, that's not great. But he's also just a good commanding presence. Like, every single time he's on the screen, I want more Stephen Lang. And I'm just like, oh, you're already here, but, like, I want, like, you. Just you. But I also love his relationship with the guys. Like, that's what kind of, at first, sustains me through the entire movie. Because, like, when each and every one of them falls, you just turn to Stephen Lang to see how it affects him as being, like, the leader. And I'm like, oh.
I will say that this movie has, like, a very interesting dialogue. And I don't know, like it's just the way that they speak, and I don't know if it's just the actors or just the way it's written, but it seemed like real conversations, like not movie conversations, if that makes sense.
I do, yeah. I think they probably let them improvise a bit, especially before like shit kicks off, like when they're just hanging out at the VFW before Lizard runs in.
Yeah, or in the truck where they're just hanging out,
Yeah,
going to work in the morning. Yeah.
It's like that whole conversation that like Fred Williamson has. She got no pussy hair.
I will say that is maybe, I'm not a huge fan of the dialogue in this movie. I think a lot of it's very overworked or like I don't know something. But that I love that because Fred Williamson seemed legitimately like upset. It worked a lot. And when he's like, I used to buy toothpicks by the fucking like ton or whatever.
She got no pussy hairs.
Pardon?
I like pussy hairs. What gives her the right to cut off her pussy hairs?
For pussy.
I don't understand how they get it so smooth. Like a goddamn ice luge.
Lasers.
Of course, the kid knows lasers.
Kid knows.
Moonraker, blasting cunt hairs from outer space.
You don't get it. Back in the day, I used to buy toothpicks by the gross, just in case, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Now, wait a minute. Am I having a stroke?
And then David Patrick Kelly as the stoner dude has a great line that I wrote down. He was like, how do they get it so smooth? And they're like, David Patrick Kelly's like, Moonraker, blasting cunt hairs from outer space. So funny. So, I wasn't a huge fan of like the dialogue, but I thought that back and forth was really good for some reason.
Oh, that's strange. I for some reason I just really like the way that they did this because it just felt like I said old dudes hanging out.
I do too. Like it's nice to like actually see. It was the thing. It's nice to hear them talk, but then the one dialogue that I hated was anything that Lizard had to say.
Oh yeah.
It made me so mad when she's just like, oh, you're old man. And I'm just like, they're protecting you. They're literally in this because of you. How dare you come into their establishment and insult them?
I will say that they did a very poor job of making me feel sympathetic to her. Like, their entire cause is around that. I mean, they don't want to throw her out into the wolves because they're veterans or whatever, I guess is what they said.
Well, no. It's because they're human beings.
Well, that too.
Better.
But like, I kind of like the movie never made me agree with them. Like, I was like, maybe just chuck her out.
Here's the thing. I didn't. No. That's insane. I never needed a reason to agree with them, not to throw some lady out to get like destroyed by these monsters.
Here's the thing. I agree with Tim because
No, you're both insane. You're both the fucking dirtbag car salesman. That's who you guys are.
I agree half with Stephen Lang, where he's just like, is that the type of man you want to be? And then I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's not the type of man I want to be. But like, she's causing a problem, and then also she's talking back
No.
at
She's
me.
been a little
Like,
bitch. Get her out of here.
Who cares? What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? No, you're both entirely wrong.
And also, like, how old is she? Like, maybe like 17, 18? She can live her
cares?
life, run faster.
What are you talking about? They're going to kill her. So here's,
Who cares?
No. You're both wrong. No, you're both. That's insane. She comes in, she's like, oh, if you throw me out there, I'm going to die.
Okay.
You're like, oh, fuck you. Throw you out there? That's insane. Just because you don't like her? That's crazy.
I like Norm better. I like Norm better.
But it wasn't a choice between her and
Could
Norm.
have kept Norm if she died.
They couldn't have. What are you talking about? That wasn't the choice.
Yes, it was. The whole thing. The whole thing about what the one guy was saying is that if they let them out there, they'll let us go, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore. If they would have done the beginning, then none of them would have died.
But that's not a choice. That isn't a choice. That's insane.
The choice was
we should have killed Lizard.
They could have.
That isn't a choice. They're not giving you a choice. They're saying they're going to kill a person. So why would you ever like agree to any of that? No, you're all crazy. You're all fucking nuts.
I don't know.
Also, she's not my VFW, but I didn't go to war with her. And again, she's insulting me. Why would I want to keep her around?
Yeah, I don't like her either. It doesn't mean she deserves to die. There are lots of people I don't like who I don't think should die.
So you think Fred Williams and Norm should have died?
No. Although I will
You
say,
know what, Fred
speaking
Williams
of,
maybe.
here's a crazy thing. When Insha was saying how like, oh, when all his friends died, Stephen Lang's reaction to their death, you really felt it because he was so good and like, and they did a good job of like cementing that camaraderie or whatever. But Fred Williamson's death was weirdly trivial. Did you find it odd? Like, he just kind of dies at the bar, and then Stephen Lang is like laughing 5 seconds later as they take like a shot and find out there are drugs back there that he could sell. It's so weird.
Yeah, I
would have so weird.
I would have rather just found him actually dead, like him.
He should have been dead when they walked back into the bar. Yeah,
right when they thought he was actually dead. The whole for him to not be dead for, I don't know, 30 seconds.
Literally pop up and be like, "Hey." Or no, I'm not dead.
He like he drops a shot. They're like, "Oh, he's dead." Oh, look, we found drugs. This is worth a lot. This will fix the bar up. Freeze frame ending. It's insane. Although, like I referenced earlier, it's very funny when he just does a bunch of the drugs to get hyped to like beat the shit out of the people coming into the VFW.
It was so funny that he didn't die in that moment too. Like, so he's at the end of killing people. He's like still hopped up on drugs.
I guess so.
Well, on
hype.
I thought the whole reason why he was doing the drugs is because he was gonna go out into, one last glory, and then he got through it anyway. So
yeah, that's why it's so like I think they fucked up with his death. Yeah, because they set it up to be like that, like going out in a blaze of glory. And then he doesn't, but then he does die. Like, he should have been alive or he should have died.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been one or the other. That fake out shit was garbage.
Yeah, it kind of feels like they were just like, we need Fred to say, like, one more cool thing. More cool thing, and then we can just cut the movie. I promise.
Yeah.
But I do agree. It felt kind of trivial. But, I mean, if Lizard had died, then we could have kept Fred. No, I don't want Fred to live. You know who I did want to live? William Sadler. William Sadler was amazing in this movie.
Oh, William Sadler's so fun in this movie. He's so good. He and in a way, like, very different from how I enjoyed Stephen Lang in the movie, because Stephen Lang was like really good acting, gave like a performance. William Sadler seemed like he just showed up and had some fun. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem like he prepared anything or whatever. He just showed up, kind of learned his lines right before the scene, and then just did it. And he was just having a ball. He was great.
There's like one line that I really liked by him. That's I'm supposed to be at a titty bar right now. Great big silicone melon just right in my fucking face.
It's for you that we're doing all of this.
Hey, I never asked for your goddamn help, Gramps.
You didn't have to. That's the point. The second you walked through that door, we were duty-bound to help you. Of course, you'd never get that through your thick fucking skull. I'm supposed to be in a titty bar right now. You know, great big silicone melons right in the fucking face.
Yeah, sorry to ruin your big fucking evening.
Well, sorry don't feed the bulldog, boy.
Hey, ladies. Yeah, well, he's so good.
I did like how they let the new veteran live, the young guy.
That was a because I remember the first time I saw the movie, I sort of knew the concept, like it was going to be a VFW hall versus, punks or whatever the fuck, and there being like a new young veteran was a nice, not twist, but like thing I didn't expect, I guess.
Right, and it's cool that he lives at the end. Him and Lizard and Stephen Lang, and all of Stephen Lang's longtime guys like die, right? So at the end he's left with no one. But
it's cool. Here's the thing. You started your sentence by saying it's cool though. And you ended it in the saddest way possible.
I made myself sad.
Yeah. It was, I liked Martin Cove played the sort of sleazy like car salesman guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who he doesn't turn on them, and he gets kind of a good death, but I did kind of like the fact that he goes to try to broker a deal with Boz.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said his name was? And then it doesn't really work, but he does get kind of a cool death because he takes out a couple guys, right?
Yeah,
before he dies. Yeah. I like that it wasn't like a full turn to like, no, fuck all you, like, I'm in it for myself. I'm a selfish son of a bitch. He did kind of, he like, the twist was kind of that there wasn't a twist. He was just their friend who also happened to be a little sleazy, but, mostly on the up and up.
Right.
I mean, he had a goal. Just wanted to go to the titty bar.
Yeah, that's all he wanted, man.
And, yeah, he did go down trying to protect Fred when he's trying to get back into the bar, right? Like, he was knew he was gonna die and started shooting those other
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
because they kind of played it up like he might have a turn on them.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
so it was
I
nice
think.
to not.
Yeah, I expected him to turn on them, and the twist kind of is that he doesn't. He's just like helping them the entire time. Anyway.
So Mike,
I really like. Oh,
I was just gonna ask. You said you had a couple of problems with it.
yeah, I did.
So let me hear that.
Okay. I think there's an artificiality to the film where it wants to be a throwback to like a cheap sort of cult classic. But I think the fact that it's trying to be that leaves me at a distance from it. I'd much rather it try to be a sincere film and I just think of it as a cult classic than it being like, no, this is like those movies you like. I don't know. There's like a falseness to it that's in certain aspects that kind of keeps me from caring as much as maybe I should.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like I don't find. I mean, I think Stephen Lang and William Sadler's relationship is the closest to like a thing that I care about in the movie, character wise. And everything else, even though like I like them buddying around and like being friends or whatever. The fact that it was very purposely trying to be like an 80s movie, I felt that. So it felt like it didn't really care about the characters. It cared about making it seem like a different kind of movie instead of worrying about making a better movie itself. I don't know.
I get that because I think that's a lot of what's kind of wrong with movies that are like this is that how you said they try to throw back to exploitation films and films that they're like, you've seen this, so you'll totally like this, which I think this movie does well, but also not. Like it throws back with all of the actors. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
Here, you know what? You nailed it. That would be. I think that would be. What I'd argue is that you've got Stephen Lang, William Sadler, Fred Williamson, David Patrick Kelly, George Wendt, everything like that. Like, you don't need to. It's like a hat on a hat. You just let those fucking dudes be in a movie like this, and be who they are, and we'll think about the 80s without you like having to constantly remind us like, wouldn't this be crazy if this was an 80s movie? But it isn't, it's now. Which is, I don't know. And there are a lot more movies that are like way more egregious and bad at that. Like this isn't like they're like, I hate that fucking Turbo Kid. Is that the fucking movie? Some movie, I don't know. There are a lot of like movies that try to be throwbacks to the 80s that are like, have you ever even seen a movie from the 80s? Like, they just it's all like built on just like pop culture ephemera or whatever. And this isn't anywhere close to that, but there is sort of like a disconnect, I think, in my eyes, because I can tell that it's kind of trying to be like a cult classic, and instead I just want it to be a good movie now. Instead of
maybe I got catfished because I was thinking
that.
I was thinking the opposite of it. It's like, yeah, this is a great cult classic type of movie.
They got you good. Like, no, that's fine. Like I get.
Like I said earlier, like it reminded me of like Shaun of the Dead. Like that's a cult classic sort of movie where it kind of had the same vibe.
But Shaun of the Dead was very much of its time and wasn't trying to, other than some references and genre wise or whatever, but trying to like throw back to previous films, whereas VFW is very purposely shot it as if it's like an 80s movie. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
it's shot to look like that. Like they do sort of loose like zoom ins, and they change like the film stock and shit to look old timey. Like I think it tries too hard stylistically, and it makes me care a little less about the character. I don't know, something like that.
It's kind of like this isn't the right movie to compare it to, and I'm not going to do that thing that I did the other day, but it's kind of like how Mandy is. No, it's kind of like how.
Oh yeah.
Like how Mandy just put like Nicolas Cage in a place. It looks like the 80s. Like it looks like the 70s / 80s, but like at the same exact time, it's its own thing. Would you have rather like this be something like that? Not exactly like that, not experimental, but like it's like you put all these characters in this setting and then just make your own thing and have the aesthetic be the aesthetic, but like don't carry over 50 other different references. So you could be like, oh, that's like that movie. Would you have wanted it that like that?
I think Mandy's a good example of a movie that feels, I mean, I think it takes place in the 80s, right? But it feels 80s without trying to recreate what an 80s movie is. It just is its own movie. And if it feels like an 80s movie, then that's fine. It doesn't, try it. I think it's almost like this movie. I can feel like the flop sweat on the director being like, this has to seem like an 80s cult classic. Like we have to do it.
It also doesn't help that you can't place it, because I remember before you said you can place the movie at all, and I'm like, I think that's the point, but it doesn't help at all.
But I think they could have taken like some of that to their advantage. I also think my other major complaint, that's my one biggest complaint, is that I think it's a little try hard to be like a cult classic.
Right.
My other major complaint is some of the action scenes suck. They're not really well shot. And I think part of that is like budget wise, which I can appreciate for sure. But they're just not well staged. Like, there are great moments of gore, like heads get stomped and exploded, and it's fucking fantastic. But then other moments, I can't even tell what the fuck's going on. Like, it's so dark and oddly staged. I don't know. There are some great like fight scenes, like when the big bouncer dude bursts in and like kicks Stephen Lang in the chest and like fights everything. That's a fantastic sequence. But then when like they got the hordes of like hype heads coming at them, like I don't know, some of the action gets kind of lost in the staging, I think.
I will say that I will agree on something like that, that kind of point, because I wrote down that we never got to see the spikes on like the keg thing that they did. So they make a whole bunch of Home Alone weapons in the bar, and you don't get the payoff of actually seeing them use it.
Yeah, you see them like launch it or let go of it or whatever, but you never really see the payoff of it. Because one of my notes is I fucking love that like tactical shit of them like setting up the keg with the spikes, and when Bill Sadler pulls the fucking bar stool off and nails shit through it as a club. Like, I love them prepping to do battle, but they kind of lose it on the payoff.
Yeah. And there was another one where I think Fred Williams, when he goes off by himself, there's like very little of Williamson, very much of him doing anything either. Like I don't know. There's a couple of, I just feel like there's a couple action scenes that are missing.
It's weird, and like I can, that's easy to forgive, like budget wise,
sure.
Like if they weren't able to, do that. But I mean, it takes place in like 2 fucking sets. I'm sure you could have set something. I don't know. Yeah, like the whole movie is about them fending off these people. Like, I want to see them fucking fend them off, but they do admittedly make up for it by blowing up a lot of fucking heads. Like, who is it? Is it Fred Williamson who fucking stomp, or is it who is it that stomps that fucking head?
Oh, yeah, it's Bill. It's Bill.
Yeah.
So good.
So gross.
So gross.
And then when like
It's so gross.
new guy like just like kicks big dude's head in, I'm like, yes, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Go gore.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or how does the boss's girlfriend or whatever, Becky from Friday Night Lights?
Oh, she
doesn't she get like a fucking?
She gets impaled once through the chest,
Yeah.
but then she gets impaled again through the mouth. It's very much like Cannibal Holocaust.
That thing down her throat. It's crazy.
So gross.
Yeah.
I will say I really liked her aesthetic in the movie. I wanted to see more of her.
Yeah, she was very cool.
I have a big complaint.
She was
about-
much cooler than Boz. Boz sucked.
Yeah.
She
Yep.
like he seemed like a tryhard. She was like effortlessly cool. I liked her a lot.
That was my big complaint about like the both of them. I feel like those roles should have switched. Like if
Yeah,
she was like
absolutely.
the big drug boss and like he was just like the peon, I was just like, no, switch those, because like she was so much better to first look at. Second, like how Tim said, the aesthetic, just chef's kiss. But like also she was such a badass.
Yeah.
It would have been. It also would have been an amazing twist if like even if like 3/4 of the way through the movie, like she killed Boz and was like. Because he got so upset about his brother being dead or something and was like, no, fuck you, I want my drugs back. Like killed him and then took over. Like she was just a lot cooler.
I also like that boss's brother's death was just like a plot, but not real.
Yeah, I forgot about it until they mentioned it again later. I was like, oh yeah, didn't Stephen Lang blow his head up with a shotgun or something?
Yeah.
It is also funny that we mentioned it earlier, but like Lizard's sister's death was very stupid. It's also kind of a very conservative movie, right? Where it's like veterans are saints and all youths are hopheads unless they're in the military. They're all dopers.
It did seem like a very much like a dad movie, like like made for dads to be like, oh yeah, we're still cool, we could do all this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if it ever came between me and a bunch of fucking millennial dope fiends, I'd kick their ass.
I think there was one line that was just like fucking millennials, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think there was too.
Come on. Taking so long. Goddamn impatient millennials.
Also, it's so funny when they like drive to the VFW hall at the beginning, and you see that military like truck, and it even gets like a musical sting and like a zoom, and you're like, oh, they're gonna drive that truck into something. Like they're absolutely gonna use that truck. It is a really good cast, though. It's crazy.
Except for Lizard. Lizard could eat shit.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't even think the young veteran dude was a standout. You know,
I mean,
he was
all
good.
he
was
all
fine.
he needed to do was just be like Deadshot. That's all he needed, and he did his job.
Yeah, he was fine. Yeah, he was good. He just, it was a showcase for a bunch of old faces, and it did its job. There's also, I wrote down a line that I can't remember who says it, but it's, I suppose murder is subjective, and then somebody says, not really.
Yeah,
which I like.
It might have been around the same time, because I wrote down a line. It could have been manslaughter. Is that?
Oh yeah, it was before that. Yeah. It was weird because it's like, no. Like the very first thing that happened were these people broke in and like almost chopped off David Patrick Kelly's arm. Like it's not murder. You're fine.
Man, the other thing about we were talking about people's heads getting smashed in. The big guy used one of the guy's heads as a battering ram to get through like the door.
Oh yeah, I forgot of that. Yeah, just smashing a dude's skull against the door.
And the guy is just letting it happen. Like he's just letting him use his head as a
after like the third time, Tim, I think you just pass out. Just die.
Yeah, I guess so, but still.
Yeah, it's a weird use of letting it happen. I think he was dead pretty quickly. He wasn't like, oh, this is fine after the first one. I think he was fucked. Yeah, I think he was pretty fine.
But I mean, like, he wasn't fighting it after the first one either. He was just letting it happen.
Drug addict. I don't think he had a choice. Let's just use my head.
That's a crazy thing about these fucking hype fiends. We already know it turns them into idiots with Lizard's sister just jumping off a roof.
Yeah.
because drugs are down there. So I guess that kind of does a lot of the heavy lifting, explaining why they'd like run headfirst into a wood chipper, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
to try to get these drugs back. Also, we mentioned it, but I want to go back to the fact that at the end, Stephen Lang seems excited to sell drugs.
Yeah.
When he finds like that brick of hype or whatever.
I don't think he's he's excited to sell drugs. I just think that I don't even know how to justify.
He is.
Well, how's he gonna turn this brick into money?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, because he can fix up the bar, get the dead bodies out.
He's got to do something with it.
Selling drugs.
But like, it's just one brick. What's it?
Yeah, I know, but it seems like a lot of legwork for a guy like Fred, who doesn't seem to have a history of selling drugs. Like, how
is he gonna let Lizard to go do it?
I mean, you can.
Maybe. She owes him that at least.
What is she do? By the way, what is she doing in this meth head? Is she like meth den? Is she there to like save her sister, or is she one of the meth heads?
I think she was there because her sister was there. Like,
yeah, I think she was looking for her sister.
Yeah.
To help her.
But also, it's weird. Well, that also brings up another question. It's just like, there was a line that never got finished at the end where I think Boz was like, there's only one thing that separates you from your sister. And then I'm like, what? And then it never gets finished because he gets, like, smashed in by a huge automobile.
I don't remember that. Is it the fact that... Is the end of that line the fact
There's
that...
no end of that line.
Dead? No, but is it implied that it's her sister's dead and she isn't?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't remember the line. Yeah, I don't remember the line either.
Yeah.
That made me upset.
It is. Yeah, that's a weird line. I don't know. I didn't notice it, but that would be irksome if I did. It is pretty cool when the truck smashes into the other truck and it blows up. I like that shit. That shit rules.
Car crashes. Gotta love them.
Car crashes. That's my big weakness. Yeah, I kind of wish, like we were talking about them like gearing up and getting all Home Alone and shit. I wish they'd done more with that. Like, I wish we'd seen more stuff in the bar being used to, like, help them. I know Fred Williamson, like, pulled that knife down eventually, and that was cool.
Right.
And then he got all yacked up on hype. I don't know. I would have liked more interaction with, like, the environment. Because it's like, I feel like a movie like this, you need to... The setting... We spend, what, like... 75% of the movie, 80% of the movie in the VFW hall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have liked more interaction with that actual space.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I agree. Then they hype it up and they do it for, I don't know, a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie, getting everything ready. And the first fight scene is really, really quick, if I remember. And then they kind of just stop doing things with the environment again. Mm-hmm. So, like, I wanted more Home Alone shit.
Especially because you have, like, a bunch of alcohol around you. It's just like, bro, make some Molotov cocktail.
Well, they don't want to burn down their own bar, so...
I mean, might as well. It's full of dead bodies. What else are you going to do?
But they do... What do? They pour the booze on the...
Oh, the tennis balls.
Drugs, right?
The tennis ball.
Oh, the tennis ball with the matchsticks. Mm-hmm. That was very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I just like the tennis ball.
I didn't know what they were doing at first with the tennis ball. Like, I didn't get how it works. Like, they put 3 matches in it, and it's full of, like, alcohol. Like, it's not gonna blow up.
I don't think it would really work. But I think in theory it seems kind of cool, I guess.
And why would the VFW hall have tennis balls? Wait a minute. Are those the things that are at the bottom of your chair?
Maybe, yes.
To stop it from scratching?
Maybe. That's as good enough excuse as I need. That's fine.
You only ever see those in public schools. Do you think just, school boards are like the tennis ball on the chair?
Oh.
No, sometimes old people have them on, like, their walkers.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, that's the only place where, like, people complain about scratching their chairs against the floor?
I guess.
Is public school...
We gave you a second example of a thing, and you're like, no, ignore that.
Was the most plausible thing, too.
I guess.
But why only elementary schools?
But it's not only. You're just ignoring.
No, but I meant for the one purpose of, like, the only reason why they're there is to not scratch the floor.
What's happening
Man, I
right
don't
now?
know. What do you want from me? I can't
Do
help you.
do teachers not trust my kid did not scratch the floor? I do.
What are you banging the table? Why are you so mad about it? I don't know. I honestly don't know what you're
I have a question.
because I don't even remember them in school.
Does your child's school have tennis balls on their desk
No.
bottom? Oh, then why are you
Nobody
so upset?
will. Nobody will.
You just know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm making my business that his school chairs will have tennis balls on the bottom of them. I don't know. You know what? I kind of agree. I don't agree with anything you said. It's all nonsense. But it is insane that putting tennis balls on things as a solution instead of just making the things not scratchy. Like, that's totally out of the question.
How did you guys get onto this? I don't understand. What is with the scratch?
Well, we got on it
What's the
from the
first
balls
question?
in the VFW camp. That
Oh, right.
camp.
The summer camp you send your old George Wentz to.
I was thinking of POW camp. Not veterans of foreign wars, prisoners of wars.
POW. MIA.
Weirdly made it sadder for some reason.
You really bummed me out. It's like, damn, prisoners of war, that's sad as fuck.
You know what? They should get their own hall where they have $3 beers.
How would they have that?
Now. What?
But that is what a POW is.
Yeah, but
Once you know,
only for
how can you
POWs.
currently be a POW and have your own hall where you can go and drink? Once you're not a POW anymore, you're a VFW.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so what are you talking about? You just invented a thing that exists, one, and two, we just watched a movie about it. So I don't know what you're talking about. You're just creating your own problems with these tennis ball chairs in schools that doesn't exist, and these POW halls that don't exist.
They both exist, Michael. VFW halls both exist.
No. That's magic. That's movie magic. It doesn't actually exist in real life. The magic of Hollywood. They could make us think that old people drink. Anybody have any more notes? Anything we should talk about that we haven't? Yes, it's very funny when Martin Cove pulls his beanie down over his head and he just punches him in the nose. And then he's like, "Oh, it's okay. You're okay." It's fine. But it's like, you're the one who got insulted by him tugging your hat down, dude. But he does look very, very cool. Weirdly, I don't think we didn't talk about this. But okay, Tim, I know you've seen it, and I'm pretty sure you've just seen it. But you know Don't Breathe? That horror movie about the kids who break into a blind guy's house? And Stephen Lang's the blind guy in it, right?
Yeah, you made me watch it. You watched it at my house one day.
Yeah, I watched it with you and your wife, and she loved it, and I loved it, and you hated it. Because you're a little scaredy cat. They're making a sequel to it that I have to look it up and mention it. Hold on. Did I tell you about this, Tim?
No.
Okay, so you remember the end of Don't Breathe, right?
They get out of the cellar and they live happily ever after?
Perfect.
Kind of. Hey, hold on.
I remember he was gonna turkey baste her.
Yes, that's the end. Is that he was gonna impregnate Jane Levy with a turkey baster.
Right.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So for some reason, so then she escapes. Jane Levy escapes and whatever, and she sees on the news that he's still alive or something. I think that's how it ends. Anyway, Don't Breathe 2, for some weird reason, has turned Stephen Lang's blind man into a hero of some sorts. Because the premise is the blind man has been hiding out for several years in an isolated cabin and has taken in and raised a young girl orphaned from a devastating house fire. Questionable. Their quiet life together is shattered when a group of criminals kidnap the girl, forcing the blind man to leave his safe haven to save her.
Yeah.
He's a rapist.
Yeah. Kidnapper, rapist. Yeah.
Turkey
Murderer.
baster enthusiast.
Yeah. I mean, just
aficionado. What an odd choice.
Just don't call it Don't Breathe 2. Just have, hey, here's another movie where Stephen Lang plays a blind person.
Absolutely, 100%. Just make Stephen Lang a cool blind guy. Like, you don't.
Yeah, you already did it once where he was a bad guy. Now do it again where he's a good guy. Then you got a good,
absolutely
contrasting role. That's weird. I don't like.
Or even make it his like identical twin blind brother, and make him. It's so weird. Like, I can't imagine watching that movie and not constantly thinking about him trying to rape Shane Levy with the turkey baste.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No. Odd stuff. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was the guy who did Evil Dead who did Don't Breathe.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah. He did not direct Don't Breathe 2, however.
Makes sense.
Good. Good stuff. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that wasn't one of my notes, but I remembered it because of Stephen Lang. Weird choice. Yeah, like you said, Tim, we all know Stephen Lang is cool. Just come up with a new concept with Stephen Lang being cool. VFW did it. He didn't pretend he was the Don't Breathe guy in VFW.
You know, Michael, you know George Wendt, he played Norm.
Are you going to mention a thing he cameoed in?
He was in... and he also played Norm in an episode of Family Guy where he did a cameo.
But now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh.
You ruined it.
I know. I didn't ruin it. You ruined it by winding up so much. You were like spitting your fist like a fucking cartoon about to punch me. Why I oughta.
It's me. It's a me. It's a Tim pick.
It's a me. It's a me.
This cameo is a me, and I am picking an actor you guys might know, Martin Kove.
Yes.
He was in this, but he was also the Karate Kid. Nope, he was the.
He was not. He was.
I like the back
coach of the Cobra
Kai. Yeah.
Nope. He was the Cobra Kai coach.
And he worked in other films such as Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
Yep.
And yeah, so usually responds in 2 days. 339 reviews, 1K in his fan club, 4.9 stars.
Oh, wow. That means we've got.
Yeah.
We've got
and I think he's in the new Cobra Kai TV series too, right?
I think he's in the TV show.
Yeah. So he's got some retro stuff and new audiences as well. So I'll read off the less than stellar starred reviews. He got a 1-star review. Where was it?
You know you fucked up when you get.
Yeah, here we go. 1 star. I received a boilerplate and non-customized message. Didn't even say my wife's name. I want this redone or a refund.
Redo it or refund it, bitch. Come on.
And the very next comment is review is a 2-star review. I am disappointed in this message. My daughter's name was not mentioned, and for the money spent, it should have been. Otherwise, I would have chosen generic. My son's name was not mentioned either. It should be redone and sent again for the money spent.
This wasn't the same person, right?
No, two different ones.
Two different.
Yeah, two different ones right back to back. There's a 3-star that says, enjoyed Martin's recording, though I was hoping the video quality would be better. The recording is pixelated and not up to the standards folks are expecting these days.
Folks, not me, just some.
And then
do his videos look okay, like the ones that it shows you?
Yeah, they're fine. Like these were a couple months ago, so I don't know.
Maybe you got a better camera.
Yeah. And then 1 4-star review that was thank you. Haven't gifted it yet, but I'm sure it'll be a surprise hit with my bro. 4-star rating because the video freezes for a second in the opening.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Because nothing stopped Martin Kove from redoing it once he saw it was frozen at the beginning. I fucking love the ones that are like, oh, great video, thank you very much. However, that's my wife, not my sister.
Yeah.
That's my mom, not my brother.
But to not mention
so funny.
anybody's name is kind of a dick move, I think.
It is, yeah, that's
It's
insane,
very
for
generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
That- I-
Because it's like, what's the point of a cameo? You could just put one general message on your site and let people download it if you're not going to mention them specifically.
Right. Yeah, the whole thing is it's a customized message for you, and 90% of that is saying the name.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, I agree. He's got like sort of he's a retro kind of throwback with sort of recent relevance due to Cobra Kai and shit. I haven't seen it, but you know, apparently people like it and it's good. I don't know. What are you thinking, Insha?
Now that you guys said Cobra Kai, like, what was the first thing he was in? What was the first thing you mentioned?
Karate Kid?
Karate Kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 200.
Oh my god, that's way more than I was thinking. I was thinking 60. So I'm gonna go with 60. I think I'm under, but I'm going with 60.
Yeah, you're under, Michael. But so is Insha.
Oh wow.
No way! Are you fucking kidding me? Martin Cove is
$245.
Does he even make that per episode of Cobra Kai? What the fuck is he talking about? $245. I'd be pissed too if he didn't mention my name in a cameo. I paid him that much.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Right? Based on like all the other people that we have talked about. $240.
I wouldn't pay him $245 to watch my fucking car.
Yeah.
People are paying him for a cameo? Jesus
Insane.
Christ.
And he's got 339 reviews already. So he's selling them.
That seems like an insane amount of money to give to him specifically. Like, I thought I
can't
was just joking.
That blows my goddamn mind. Because, like, like, even if you had nostalgia for the Karate Kid, you'd want Mr. Miyagi. Nobody who gives a shit about anybody else? What are you talking about? $245.
And now I want you to sweep the leg and have a great birthday.
I can't. You can't imagine my disgust. With this.
We can hear it.
That he would have the gall to try, like.
When I saw that price tag, I thought this. Not only is he in this movie, so that worked out, but when I saw the price tag, I immediately had to pick this one.
I don't know who I'm more mad at, him for charging that, or the 300 odd people who purchased it. They're all insane and should be, I think, frankly, put to death.
Yeah.
For doing something so outrageous like that.
It should be illegal.
You know what? Now I was on the side of the 1-star reviewer who was like, "Well, it just was boilerplate. Like, give me a refund or whatever." But fuck you. You deserve to lose $250 if you're spending on this kind of bullshit. I'm glad. If all of his were 1-star reviews, or he was just clowning on idiots who gave him $250, I would love him. Like, that's.
How much do you guys remember how much David Hasselhoff was? Because he should be in the David Hasselhoff range, I think.
No, David Hasselhoff charged more, and I think deserves more than Martin Cove.
Hold on, I just went to his cameo. The first video is insane to me to pay $245 for. It's literally just somebody taking a video of him as he's signing autographs.
That can't be. I saw that, and it can't be a real cameo.
He's doing other shit? That's insane. That'd be like if he was like mowing his lawn and he did one. Like, how disrespectful. Somebody's paying you $245 American dollars and you can't give them your full attention for half a minute? What?
I love that. I can't imagine. I want someone to do a cameo while mowing the lawn. Like a guy just on his John Deere, just driving around.
That's so disrespectful.
Wait, Michael, you have to
literally making other money while he takes your money, signing autographs and shit. Fuck that guy. Jesus Christ.
And like, whoever is taking the video of him, it has to be his assistant or something like that, right? Like, it has to.
Yeah.
And then he's scanning the crowd, and then he's not even looking at the camera.
That's what I mean. Like, it can't be. It
You know
can't
what?
be
No.
real.
In my head, I hope it is a real one because, honestly, with that price tag, the more disrespectful, the better. Like, just throw a bunch of slop for those pigs to eat up. Jesus Christ! Well, that's a no. That's a
Yeah, Michael, you don't think it's worth it? You don't.
I'm not into it. Surprisingly. That's crazy. Not even looking at the camera. Like signing other autographs for like $20 a pop and like over his shoulder is like, yeah, happy birthday, Michelle. Keep signing. So fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
That's an easy 245.
And so, what do you think?
No. Especially after seeing this cameo right here. No. Like.
Yeah, absolutely. $250.
He's
not even close.
Even trying.
That's crazy.
Good.
I guessed 60, and I thought that was a lot. I was like, no way.
Nope.
Well, that's a classic triple no.
That's right. Lower your prices, buddy. Get it down there. Anyways, it's been Cameo.
Now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Now I know you're just a cameo. Oh, oh, oh.
Yep. Wow, that surprised me. That was like George Wendt.
I wasn't gonna let you interrupt me this time.
Yeah. Interrupt you. You asked me a question. Film. Crawl, walk, run. Me? Yeah, I'll go first.
Sure.
It's a walk. I enjoy it. I had a good time watching it. I think the cast is really good. I think there's some aspects to it that holds me back from loving it. But, you know, I didn't waste an hour and a half. I enjoyed it. So, walk.
Film run. I really, really like this movie. If you haven't seen it already, take a look. I think this is a movie that is right up my alley and the type of movies I like to watch. So, yeah, film run.
I'm a film run because I picked it and it's my movie and I love it so much. Love the setting. I love the exploitation filminess of it, and I love the cast, and I like how they're all kind of like brought together. Fred Williamson can go fuck himself, but at the same time, I love this movie. So, film run.
Yeah, I really like Fred Williamson, and you kind of ruined that for me by messaging me just before we started recording.
Sorry.
You messaged me, Fred Williamson endorsed Trump. It's like, in my head I was like, why did you do that?
He also has sexual assault allegations, but you know,
Oh,
who
God.
needs a nice day?
Jesus fucking Christ. All right.
You know what? He should have died in the blaze of glory now.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Recommendations. If you want to see William Sadler again, you can watch Die Harder, where he plays bad guy. And if you want to watch
You get to see him do naked Tai Chi in that.
yeah. And if you want to see another movie that takes place in a bar, you can watch Coyote Ugly.
Jesus Christ.
Tim, that's not even close to on the level of the usual surprise recommendations. It's really bad.
Oh, well. If you want to see a bunch of old dudes relive their glory days, watch Wild Hogs.
That one got him.
That's good. I'm kind of laughing at the fact that I thought you were going to say Space Cowboys. My recommendation is Don't Breathe, starring Stephen Lang and a turkey baster.
If you want to see some people trapped in a confined space, Assault on Precinct 13 and Green Room, more Stephen Lang, Manhunter, and Don't Breathe, and more veterans who are absolutely dope, The Five Bloods.
Oh yeah, good choice. Tim, you know David Patrick Kelly in this the pothead who gets chopped in the shoulder or whatever right away. He's the guy from, you know, the movie Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who clinks the bottles together.
He's the one that's...
Warriors come out to play.
He wants to go in... He wants to be the guy that...
He wants to come
play,
out
and play. Has Insha seen Warriors?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her. Next time we talk to her, you can ask.
Insha, have you seen Warriors?
Oh, I am here. No. No, I have not.
You haven't seen The Warriors?
No, I have not.
Ooh. Warriors would be a good one to do.
Would be. But I already picked it. I already picked one, so I'm gonna go with a different one.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Because it's a me pick next week. I don't know how this one's gonna go, but I'm gonna go with Ong Bak, the Muay Thai warrior.
What the? What?
I'm excited for Ong Bak.
I haven't seen it since it came out in like 2003, but I just remember liking it. So it's a what do you call it? A kung fu movie starring Tony Jaa.
It's what do you call it? A movie.
No, kung fu.
What's that word?
Hi-ja-ja.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. I'm excited. That's a good choice. Ong Bak.
Ong Bak.
Huh.
Do you remember Tony Jaa in Fast and Furious?
7?
Yes.
He's the one Paul Walker fights, and he's like too slow or whatever.
I sound disappointed. I'm actually very excited because what? I like the poster. I just looked at the poster.
Is it just his back? His glistening back?
Just his back.
I remember the DVD case had like was like one of the metal back ones, whatever you call those, the hard steelbook ones. What like at a video store we got it as a steelbook even for a rental, and it was just Tony Jaa making a cool pose.
There's one that looks like he has like fiery wings, and I like that one.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
He doesn't got those. He doesn't got those.
Here's a spoiler though. He jumps a lot, and he's really good at it.
Okay.
All right, we'll watch that next week.
This sounds like a plan.
Lasers. Of course, the kid knows lasers.
Kid knows.
Moonraker, blasting cunt hairs from outer space. Pew! Pew!